All right, you guys go. Thanks.
Okay, so I just want to say hello and thank
Hello.
you for joining us today. My name's Eva, and I'm a freshman at Lompoc High, and I'm in charge of marketing for the FBLA club. And yeah, and this is my fellow officer.
Hey, I'm Oscar, and I'm currently an 11th grader at Lompoc High School, and I'm president of the Future Business Leaders of America Club, and I'm thankful for you two joining us today.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
So this is our first ever podcast, which is super exciting. And I'd like to introduce our special guest, which is the owner of Grocery Outlet. And I would love to start off with asking you to introduce yourself and the company.
Okay. My name is Aaron Crocker. My wife and I own the grocery outlet here in Lompoc. We're a grocery store, but we like to think we're a little more than a grocery store. We definitely sell inexpensive groceries, but we're a big part of the community too. That's a big part of our focus. So, yeah, we're not just a grocery store. We like to say that.
So, Aaron, what led you and your wife to begin to open a grocery store outlet in Lompoc?
Well, we didn't know anything about Lompoc, to be honest. Just, boy, 6 years ago this month, actually. We have always worked for a grocery outlet. I started bagging groceries in high school at a grocery outlet in 2004 up in Redding, California. And I was just bagging groceries there. And I just continued working at grocery outlets while I was going to college, studying engineering at the time. And I met Alex, and we just decided over the course of our college that we were doing that maybe college wasn't for us, and we were really good at this grocery thing, and so we wanted to keep pushing that and give that a try. And yeah, we became kind of a management team and got married. And then Lompoc, the business owner that had Lompoc, the store was being sold in 2014, which is when we bought the business and came to Lompoc. Didn't know a lot about it, but so happy that we're here and came to check it out. It's been life-changing.
Thank you. That sounds really interesting. So you have a lot of passion when it comes to marketing your store. Where does the passion come from?
That's a good question. I think we just try to be different. I think just even outside of the store, even through like my teenage years and stuff, just always being into the different kind of subcultures and things, stuff that stood out. And we always wanted to kind of stand out. And so we sort of have been doing that with our grocery store since early on, just trying to differentiate ourselves. And it's evolved over the years into what it is now. But we're just very passionate about our store, about the Lompoc community, and the marketing. We're just very passionate about being different, I think, because we don't like the same old, same old. So we like to mix it up. And that really comes through in our marketing, I think.
Well, how old were you when you first figured out when you really wanted to be an entrepreneur?
Dang, how old was I? I have to do some math. I was 23, I think. I had just, well, maybe 24, because I had met Alex, and this will be 11 years for us this year. So I would have been, I'm doing math again. Yeah, probably 23, 24. That we had decided that owning a business was something that we could see ourselves doing. We had both only ever done grocery store stuff since we were in high school. So we had that whole concept down, taking care of customers, bagging groceries, putting stuff on the shelf and all that. But the business side of things is a lot of the stuff that we had to learn along the way. And I think 22, 23. Yeah, right around there.
So I was wondering, what are some of the grocery outlets company values?
So grocery outlet, grocery outlet's kind of like a partner with us. So Alex and I actually own the business. We are the CEO and vice president of our business, and we partner with Grocery Outlet. Grocery Outlet is a purchasing company. They are an IT company. They source a lot of the product that we carry in our store, but we sort of share the brand name of Grocery Outlet. And each store is individually owned and operated, which makes it kind of unique. So every store you go into is going to have a little bit of a different feel. But I think if I had to pick some core values that were across the board in every store you're going to go into, it would be low prices, and community involvement and customer service. I think those are probably the three main things. One of our grocery outlets mission statements, it's kind of an unofficial one, but it is touching lives for the better. And that is something that we try to do as a grocery store. It's providing low priced food, quality low priced food to a community, but it's more than that too. It's taking care of local organizations, being charitable where we can, and all of that. It's a whole group effort.
Yeah. So when you're hiring employees, what characteristics do you look to like fulfill the values?
I love that question because hiring is probably what we put besides marketing and like future growth planning. Hiring is probably the next most important thing that we do in our store, and it is just identifying the right people that are going to take care of our customers. And the number one thing we look for a lot of things, but the most important thing that we look for is a genuine care for other human beings. We can teach you how to bag groceries. We can teach you how to drive a forklift, whatever it is. But it's hard to teach that natural compassion for your fellow human. As a grocery store worker, you are kind of a servant at the end of the day. And if you don't have that servant mentality, it's just not going to come through in our store. It's not a bad thing. It's just not for everybody. And so we just want to make sure that the people that we bring into our store are people that understand that and want to take care of our customers.
In your opinion, Aaron, what is the company's culture at Grocery Outlet?
Company culture, I kind of what I alluded to a little bit before. Every store is going to be a little bit different because they are all individually owned and operated. I would say in our store, the culture is a family environment. We have our kids in there often. They're in a lot of our marketing as well. We market to families. Generally, they buy more food, so that's a win for us too. But we also want to just take care of families, of kids, but of anybody. Even if you don't necessarily have kids and aren't a family, we like to think that a lot of the customers that come into our store are part of our family, and we think a lot of the customers feel that way too. So it is relationship building with the customers every time they come in through that door, that it's kind of like a second home to them. You know, they come in, shopping isn't a chore. Hopefully they're excited to come into our store. I don't like grocery shopping, which feels so weird to say being in the business I'm in. I hate it, but I love our store. The products are changing all the time. There's nice people in there. It doesn't feel like a chore going into shop. You enjoy the experience. That's what we go for.
And because I know you're so involved in the Lompoc community, and when you initially started the business, what motivated you to really get involved with the community?
I think early on, we identified just some problems that we felt the store had previously, just under previous ownership. And one of the things that we identified was a lack of awareness of the community and just of the customer that was there in Lompoc. And so we really put a focus on getting involved in the community just to, at first, learn about Lompoc. We were so new to the town itself. We got here on Halloween night in 2014, and we ran to the store to get a bag of candy, like hoping that, somebody would come knock on our empty apartment door. And I think we got like 3 trick-or-treaters, and then it started pouring rain, and that was it. But our big thing when we got here was to learn about this town, because we just didn't know anything about it. So getting involved in the community just made sense to us, because that's how we were going to learn who our customer was, what the needs were, and where we could help.
What are some specific projects that you've done in the Lompoc community?
There's a lot. I like to point to our Independence from Hunger campaign. It's a yearly thing we do. We've done a lot over the years, but that one has been since day one. Every summer we raise money for different organizations that fight hunger right here in Lompoc. And our big focus every year is that every single dollar stays right here in Lompoc. So people that end up donating money or donating food ends up helping feed their neighbors, people you might not even expect that need the help. And we've supported different organizations over the years that do some different work in the community combating hunger. A big one is the food pantry. Every year we give a portion to them. But over the years, we've done other things like food education programs. We've helped fund some of those. Homeless outreach, we've helped fund some of those efforts as well. So that one every single year has grown just exponentially. I think the very first year we raised like $1,200 or maybe $2,000, and that was a really big deal to us. But just this last summer, we raised over $30,000 for the Lompoc Food Pantry, and that was just crazy. And it feels so good to be able to get a whole team of people together doing good, knowing that it's all helping out Lompoc. It's all 100% local here.
Wow, that sounds amazing, Aaron. Well, what do you do to keep and maintain a positive working environment at your store?
We, that's an interesting one too, because there's lots of different things. I don't think there's one answer for that, at least for our store. I think it's a combination of different things. We try, I mentioned our family feeling environment before, and I think number one, you have to look at the work environment. We try to provide a safe, fun, and somewhat relaxed place to work. And when I say relaxed, I don't necessarily mean lazy or we're not getting stuff done. We get stuff done, but we aren't breathing down people's necks trying to make sure that every single second of their day they are working as hard as they can. It's not what we're about. We're not all robots. We are there to help build relationships with the customers. And if you're spending a portion of your day talking to a customer and asking about their day, that's a win for us, because that customer feels loved and feels like a genuine connection to our store. So I think just having that kind of environment is already naturally a positive feeling place, and it attracts a lot of people. We have shoppers that we hear it probably every single week. They have jobs, they're doing just fine, but they want to work in our store for one reason or another, whether it's they just love the people that we have, or they love our marketing and they want to be a part of that, or whatever it is. So it feels really good hearing people say that, and it feels like it's working.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that you have your Instagram page where you market all of your products and stuff. So I was wondering, what's the craziest thing that's happened during a video shoot for when you're marketing?
So we kind of planned it. So our store manager, her name is Carrie, and she is my right hand woman. Alex is like my co-owner with the business, and we both run the back office and the employees and the financial side of it. But Carrie, our store manager, helps me manage the sales floor and all of the marketing efforts. And so it's her and I bouncing ideas off of each other while we're cutting freight, putting stuff on the shelf, whatever it might be. And I think we try to plan as much of it out beforehand so we don't have crazy stuff happen if we can help it. I know that like there's times we have an ongoing series called Behind the Bargains where we cut boxes as fast as we can, and we race to see who wins. And there was one time I remember I lost, and I usually win. And I know Carrie, whoever loses has to drink hot sauce, and she dumped a extra amount of hot sauce into my glass because I hadn't lost before. And so me trying to be like a good loser just knocked most of it back all at once. And I didn't realize, like, I like spicy food, but I've never like just drank straight like a good amount of hot sauce. I've done little bits, but just knocking like a full glass full back. Then I had to like finish the video and like talk to people like, all right, thanks for watching. And I'm like hiccuping, and the video ended, and I was not feeling good for like probably 2 or 3 hours. Like it was not good. We'll not do that again. But thankfully nothing like physically hurt or dangerous or damage to anything so far. Hopefully not.
Wow, that's funny. That's really funny. Well, what are 1 or 2 things that really drive results for your company?
Drive results like just help the business move forward, or
Yeah, make progress.
okay. I think I mentioned it before a little bit, but we really do focus on the community, but I think it's ever changing. And so something that continues to drive a lot of that progress is just keeping an eye on the community, on food trends, and not just food trends across the board, but food trends here locally, whether it's wine or some of the natural and organic products, like some of the gluten-free things, or some of the keto stuff that has popped up over the last couple of years, trying to stay on those food trends and then see how those trends apply here locally, and just trying to be on the forefront of it. We are in a unique place where Alex and I own this business, and Grocery Outlet sources a bunch of product, but we can very quickly decide what to put, like right when you walk in, or what to put on this end cap or that one. And we can change the whole look of the store in a matter of a couple of days, where a big time business that isn't necessarily like a small, like locally owned business, they don't have the freedom to move all that stuff around. So we are just constantly nimble, trying to stay ahead of some of those trends and really help drive progress by just being ahead of it as it comes up.
Mm-hmm.
What are some specific goals other than related to your occupation have you established for yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
Other than occupation, so other than the store, I don't know. The store dominate this between the store and the kids and just community involvement, which we kind of tie that into the store. That dominates most of our life. I would say just being a good parent, a good dad, fostering more kids. We foster. We've got one foster now. He's our third placement, but we plan to continue doing that for as long as we're able to. Yeah, just be a good member of this community. I think that's been our goal, and just raise good kids. That's been our focus for the last few years now.
Aaron, the community sees through your ads that you include your family and you're a family man. What are the pros and cons of balancing a family and being an entrepreneur?
Okay, I kind of just alluded to that, but we're always striving for that balance. Balance is something that you're constantly chasing, but like the minute you're balanced, you're off balance. Like it's not really, balance isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's a constant ongoing experience where you are just really trying to give all of these areas of your life a little bit. If we put our 100% self into the store every single day, the kids would suffer, the community involvement would suffer. I wouldn't be able to do dishes or cook or whatever it is around the house, that kind of stuff. So we try to split it evenly. There's definitely weeks where we're off balance, and you can feel that. It's usually more stressful weeks, or there's more stuff going on at the store and that kind of thing. But it's difficult, but it's really about when it comes to the store trying to dominate our life, we have put a lot of focus into getting the right people in the right positions at the store, which allows us to provide balance in other areas of our life, because we have people that we can trust there at the store to close up the store at night, to make sure stuff's getting done, so that when we come in the morning, everything is ready to go. Having that trust in those people has been one of the things we've been working on since we got here, so that we were able to do all these other things. But it's never ending. The minute we think we have it balanced, we're off balance. Something else comes up, or there's a problem somewhere. But it's just being really light on your feet. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that looks like that's all the questions we have for you. So thank you so much, because it looks like you're doing such a great job with Grocery Outlet and being
Thank you.
community and everything. So just keep it up, and thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you a lot. You're funny.
Yeah. Thank you. We have a lot of fun with it, but it's something that we just love doing. So it's something we want to keep doing, and hopefully the Lompoc community keeps shopping so we can keep doing it.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, thank you.